Well, we're sitting in my lounge room. My name's Clint and this is Pete Barter. Pete Barter has had over 25 years of experience in the music industry, and recently he's introduced me to some pretty crazy technological features that you've probably seen appearing in your newsfeed more and more lately. Now, I'm talking about the 360 degree technology and also the virtual reality. Now, for those who don't know too much about the 360 degree technology, can you sort of explain what it is and maybe what it's used for?
The 360 stuff these days, it kind of started, I think, with real estate, because there's a lot of money in real estate, particularly high-end real estate, and you could buy a 360 camera for a lot of money to give your potential buyers a really good view of a top-end house. So the actual potential purchasing customer would go into the house theoretically wearing a headset similar to something like this. So it's been around for a while. It's become far more attractive and appealing now because of costs of the actual camera equipment and VR Google things like this. Google Cardboard, that was like $4 or $5 or something like that. You can buy them on eBay or even less if you were to buy a lot of them.
So it actually started in real estate. I didn't actually know that, but it makes perfect sense for prospective buyers to be able to get like a bit of a snapshot of the house and what it would actually feel like being there.
So yeah, there's a big change in the way it works as a consumer, and being involved in the music industry and being tech savvy, that I learn everything. We're not born with the tech skills, we learn the tech skills. So I'm just interested in what level of technology I can put into the music industry that hasn't been done yet. And the reason that I'm kind of going down this rabbit hole is I recently joined a band called Mind Remover, and they've done a heap of things, and I was in the band about 10 years ago under a different name named Coil. Before that it was Novocaine.
Yes, I remember Novocaine.
So Novocaine became Coil. I joined the band then, and then since then they've changed the name again, changed the lineup. So I'm in the band now after a 10-year hiatus. But I really didn't want to do a comeback gig in the same form that everyone does a gig, or a comeback gig to that matter. So kind of at a rehearsal, just chatting about what could potentially be done, I come up with a solution not just for our band to reach a greater audience at scale, like globally, but for any band. But I'm only one piece of the puzzle, and there's other players in this scenario.
And in your situation, being in a local band in Adelaide, you do need to go down the path of investigating different options to separate and put you guys forward, because there's hundreds of thousands bands, and you need to find a solution that's going to set you apart and put you in front.
Yep. But the way it's deployed and the way it's spread among every single set of ears and eyes on the planet, that's where the marketing comes in, and that's where the differentiation between what we're trying to do and look, it's probably been done, but I haven't seen it marketed, and I haven't seen it done exactly the way that I'm planning on doing it.
You've brought with you a couple of toys, something that people may not be too familiar with, that they would have heard it, they would have seen it in their news feed, but can you explain what you've brought along and how it works and what it does?
I bought this pillow. Yeah. There's a few options. I've actually got about 30 prototypes sitting in my home office of variations of a VR headset. We're currently doing a deal as well for this. The business model that we've just created is 4 partners: so a band, a production company, a promotions company, and events. I guess me, ETI Music is sort of the business that's holding it all together and putting in the hours of development. So I've organised a whole heap of prototypes of these to come to me as something that we send out for free when people purchase a ticket to the event, which is an online live event. And here is these are kind of similar. This is the first one I got before I even thought about doing anything like this. It's had a bit of use. The kids wear it around the house and bang into each other. But something like this, easy to post out to anybody. It's a pretty simple headset. You put your phone in there, put it on your head, and you literally watch the gig like you're at the gig, or you watch a cheetah demolish a swan, or if you're into nature, or if you're into whatever. There's so many 360 videos around it. You can fly around the planet in a spaceship and watch, you know, the Earth go by in VR, virtual reality. So there's a lot of clips that have been filmed at the moment in VR, and there is definitely a lot of VR band stuff, but it's literally a camera on a stage with a band in one side, so 180 degrees is band, and the other 180 degrees is audience.
Wow, that's cool.
It's cool, but you might as well just have a camera on the band, unless you're in the audience and you want to watch the audience. So it's kind of good. I like the idea of where it's going, but my brain goes in stupid directions, and because when I watch that, I'm a drummer, and usually it's the freaking bass player, the guitarist, and the singer at the front, the drummer's at the back. And from that particular on-stage 360 camera, where only 180 degrees of it is seeable, but because the drummer is so far back and behind other people, you don't really get to see it. And in most cases, they're just using like a front of house or a foldback send into a desk, if anything at all, or they're just using the sound that goes into a 360 camera, which can be quite good, but not as good as what it could be if they spent some time on it. So there's a thing.
Thank you very much. I'll go and watch this cheetah demolishing a swan.
Let me bring up a clip. Chuck us your headphones, mate. Plug this in. So this is, you haven't seen this yet, Clint. This is nothing up my sleeve. Clint hasn't actually seen the 360 VR clip at this kind of, and just remember, this is a, give it to me again, I'm going to put the thing in. This is a, just a rehearsal. So there's two room mics. There's just two room mics in the rehearsal space. There's a button on top. This is pretty cool. It's got a button on top that controls the button on the phone.
Oh, right, cool.
Without touching the button on the phone. I don't even know how that works. And there's a little dot on the screen, so you get the dot over top of the play button. You push the button, and away you go. I'm going to put it on VR mode.
And you can just use this just from your normal phone?
Yeah.
Is there any particular... Does it work better on Android or...
No, this is a... That's pretty loud.
It is very loud. Is there a volume switch on that?
But you want it loud, man. You've got a show.
Yeah, true. But if I was at a show, I'd have earplugs in.
Yeah.
So, okay. Wow, that is very cool.
Yeah.
I can't see the headphones. Yeah, is that left?
And blind all of a sudden. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So Clint's now at a gig, right? So imagine this concept.
Wow, that is amazing.
You don't even yell. You can't hear me. So what he's looking at is, we set up the camera at a rehearsal right in the middle of us four band members, and we just play, you know, our usual set. So, yeah. So you can look up and you can look down. On the top, I can put logos and put titles of songs in 360 space as well. So looking up, you would see the logo of the band, and looking down, you'd see the live.
And the drummer's down the back.
Drummer's behind you. Depends on.
That is incredible.
Pretty cool, huh?
That is amazing. I had no idea it'd be like that.
And that's just a dodgy rehearsal space, you know.
Yeah.
Dodgy looking band vibe with bad audio.
That was like, because you're sort of looking through it, and all right, there's the singer off to your left, or on my left. But as soon as I moved, oh, what? There's a bass player, and then you were over there. Yeah, that was excellent.
So it's good, man. And there's so much more we can do, and that was kind of the first major trial I had in a band environment with the camera. So yeah, that kind of reaction is something that I've got from everybody that I've showed it to.
Yeah, that was wow.
They didn't talk so loud when they had the headphones on though.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you were talking. I was in my own virtual reality world.
Yeah,
I was in the middle of your rehearsal space, actually.
You were. And you see the extra dude sitting there as well.
Yeah,
So he's just some dude that comes into rehearsals.
What I really liked was that when you actually looked down, you could see the logo of was it VR360?
Yeah, well, we're actually going to create a physical space for the band or other bands. We're going to do more than one band in this scenario.
Yeah.
No point spending all this time and money and effort and energy in creating a business just for one band. So, but we're going to create an actual physical dome or physical space, the Thunderdome, to play in. Which will have all the lighting that we need. Everything will look perfect for the 360 camera. The backgrounds will be either projection or LCD screens. That'll be part of the show.
That was amazing. That was my first virtual reality experience, and I was seriously impressed.
This one here is a better build. It's a better design. You put the phone in, blah blah blah.
Yes.
Slide it in. Somehow you watch, whatever. This is a better design, but it's actually a worse viewing experience because you've got a couple of adjustments. You can focus it and move your eyes and whatever. But I can't make this one look as good as that one.
Yeah.
That's the best one out of about 50 that I've received. This one's not too bad either. I bought this one in because everything's going to be branded as well.
I like how it comes in a little case like that because
That's how they're going to be posted out to people. So let's just focus on the aspect from the punter's point of view. So as a consumer, you'll get an invite, you'll buy a ticket, it'll be like $15 or whatever the ticket price is, and that'll include a set of these that get sent to your house, Australia-wide. And we can obviously not just restrict this to not just a global thing, not just a local thing. So you're not just an Adelaide punter going to see an Adelaide band anymore. You're an Australian punter going to see an Adelaide band or a band in general. So the geographical spot of where the band exists does not exist anymore in this world.
In terms with the local music community, is this going to hinder it or is this going to help it?
I think a bit of both. It's going to really piss off a few venues because bands will get more attraction for ticket sales through this. I'm not thinking this is going to be something that it's a takeover event. It's not something this is not ever going to take over a live event. I don't think so in the near future.
I don't think you can take being at a concert,
being at a show,
50,000 people,
having some dudes spill beer on your shoes.
Yeah.
You can do that at home in your VR space. I can spill beer on your shoes while you had this on.
Yeah, and I'd be like, yeah,
it all works the same way. But I think having that live experience, the actual live, not the VR live, the actual live experience, we're not trying to replace that. This is just something that gives a band a global audience more than just a CD, more than just a piece of content on a website. It's actually being immersed into their performance space.
I did actually notice that not just, like what you just mentioned, listening to music, your ears are sort of is your main sensory that's being affected, but that encompassed everything.
Yeah.
And it was in a 360 degree, and I had everything was affected. So
I'm not doing this to take over venues. This would be a 45-minute set for a punter to watch and for a band to perform. Bands.
So you purists who aren't really open to new technology would prefer go to a gig and see a couple of bands. That option is still always going to be there.
And you can promote to tens of thousands of people through a VR show, a VR gig, a live 360 VR gig. You can promote to tens of thousands of more people globally about your local event. But if you just focus your advertising on a local Adelaide market and if 20,000 South Australians view your gig or hear about your gig, even if they don't buy a ticket, they understand that you're a band, they understand you've got a name, and then when that band hits their local venue, they'll go, oh, I've seen those guys advertise. I hadn't seen them live. I've seen them in VR. It'd be great to go see them live. So that's just connecting. It's just another way of marketing your thing. So what's going to happen for a consumer is they're going to be able to hear a live show in beautiful produced CD quality audio through headphones. Like these are pretty expensive $3 headphones or $4, whatever they cost.
$3.50.
$3.50. I think you got them free with an iced coffee or something. So you can have a really good. You plug it into your phone and you listen and you watch, but in really high quality, proper mixed, proper produced audio.
Now this is sort of a technology that's been around for a while, but it's only more recently been actually sort of seen to be more accessible, and it's actually it's going to be a reality. Like this is going to be a common thing. This is where everything's headed, and the mobility impaired people as well that are unable to get to a show.
Yep. So you sit in your wheelchair or sit on your chair and you just watch the show and you pivot and you watch the band. You're involved in the show still.
Yeah.
And you can actually see 3 or 4 different bands from all over the world in the one space in one night.
Right.
So from a consumer, it's something different. It's something new. This is becoming more and more available to everybody. We want to help that happen. So buy a ticket online, you get one of these. And the way it would work is you'd get a message on your phone the second you buy a ticket and confirming your mobile number, mobile phone. And then on the day, there'll be another message to say make sure your phone's charged up. It's a 45-minute set, so make sure you've got some battery, and make sure you've got some Wi-Fi. We'll be broadcasting in 4K, but you don't have to watch it in 4K. You can watch it with whatever bandwidth your thing has. So if you want to watch it in 720 or 1080 or 440 or whatever it is, you can. It's fine. It still works the same way.
But from my experience before, you need to watch that in 4K.
Yeah,
because that was incredible.
That wasn't 4K.
I know, but
that was what was that? That would be 720.
Yeah.
So 4K it just sounds better and it looks cleaner. But we're just going to go through a bit of a process with that first message. So hey, this is how you can view it. There'll be literally a video, not a VR. We don't have to worry about getting everything ready. It's literally just a quick video that tells people about what they're about to see. And if they start feeling nauseous, it's okay. They can take the headset off and they can watch it not in VR. They can watch it just in 360, which means that they don't have to have the phone in the headset. They can literally still do the pan around stuff.
You can still walk around and watch it like that.
Yep. So some people might get a bit nauseous with that because it's a new thing in our eyes. Like when we go see 3D movies.
Yeah,
the first few minutes it can be a bit weird, but you sort of settle into it.
Yeah, for me it's more afterwards, and then trying to drive home afterwards, and I'm still, it's still everything's
that's a good. We don't have to drive anywhere. We can sit at home and watch a gig.
Yeah.
And have the good thing about this as well is that this doesn't cover your mouth. just saying.
Yeah, and you can still, talk and
you don't have to line up at the bar and miss the gig.
Yeah,
you can still, see you go to buy a ticket to your favourite band and spend 20 minutes at the bar while they're on. I've done that and it's been annoying.
Yeah,
but I don't have to go to the bar, of course, to buy a Coke. That's from the punter's point of view. So back on track. You'll get a message in the day of the event. It tells you some stuff. You'll get a message like an hour before the event, telling you some more stuff, making sure you're ready. Then you'll get a message about 20 minutes out or an hour, a half hour out from, if the event's at a comfortable time, like 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, at 4:30 or 4 o'clock, you'll get another message to say the event's going live in an hour. You can sit in now and listen to a pre-recorded or a live radio broadcast, potentially, prior to the show, playing other bands and playing past band mixes of other events. Promoting upcoming real life shows, promoting upcoming VR shows, leading up to going with that. Looking at you, and I'm saying,
I'm already picturing how that would work.
So it's just pre-audio. So pre-show is just audio, like walking music.
Yeah.
But you don't have to look at anything. You might have a 360 camera on you. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pretty looking dude with beard and everything.
Yeah.
So that will be leading up, and then there'll be we may run some commercials because sometimes people pay for these things. We're doing a big event, a big collaboration with a pretty well-renowned retail marketing organisation. So when you get these for free, you can take your ticket into this particular retail store and upgrade to something like real high-tech. Because once you see this in real, this is plastic shit. This is cardboard actually, not even plastic. So when you see it in a real thing, it's just comfortable and amazing and just works really well. So you can upgrade to whatever, but the price of the ticket comes off the price of the upgrade as well. So you can spend up to a couple $100 on a VR headset, or up to $50. Well, as little as $50. So
and that technology is only going to develop further.
It's going to be crazy. So then the event happens with Mind Remover. We're doing this pretty little intro video. It's actually really funny. We're doing this cool thing, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that part. Literally like a 4-minute intro, and then the 360 will happen. So the intro videos and commercials will be in 1D, not 1D, we'd call it not 360, so flat. So it'll just be a normal YouTube clip, but then at the point of it being the 360 show, it becomes 360. So it'll still be in your headset, you just can't look around. It's still VR, but you can't look around. But then the second that the show officially starts, then it becomes, you don't have to do anything, it just happens in your thing. So you get that message that comes to you before the show is literally a text message. You hit on the link and it loads the clip, you put it in, plug your headphones in, and away you go.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Making it simple.
Because that kind of reminds me, I remember going to see a certain big band a couple of months ago that reformed and did a tour of Australia, and listening to the broadcast before the show, and I found that just helped with the whole overall experience, was just getting warmed up for the crowd. You know, they played all the songs from all the albums and that kind of thing. They talked about some facts and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. By the time we got to the gig, pumped. Absolutely pumped. So.
Yeah, that's cool. And there's some stuff that we're going to be doing as well with Mind Remover, is we'll do a bit of an interview process. And because a lot of people are going to be hearing about us for the first time, and that's the idea behind this, is bands get exposure to a lot of people and make some money as well. That's important, because bands do a lot of stuff for nothing to get exposure.
But I think it's important for people, fans, and people that are going to be using this to connect with the band that they're going to be watching as well. So if you knew a little bit about them, knew what they look like, know a little bit of their backstory, their back catalogue and stuff, then it just makes going to a gig and seeing that band live so much better. I've
always said that if there's product A and product B, be it band or solo musician, if product A has no public view apart from their own, the CDs and the on-stage persona, if they don't have a personality behind that, they're going to sell less than someone who's actually in the public and has a persona and an actual person, because people like to follow that journey. I follow some really great musicians on Snapchat, and it takes me behind the scenes in their daily life. I'm so much more connected to those people. And
that's what everyone kind of yearns for as well. So and there's nothing I like better than seeing a band up on stage that you know a little bit about. You know a little bit about their personal life, not too much, but to the point where, you know what, they're good guys. They're super approachable people as well. And then in between sets, they're at the bar having a beer with other people and they're chatting with people.
The cool thing, that's obviously a lot of cool things for the punter, for the viewer. There's many more. But what about the other aspect of the performer? So supply and demand. Demand or supply is the band, the performing act. You can have a massive reach through Facebook. Facebook connects everybody that likes the genre, that likes your band already. If you think your band is like Limp Bizkit, you can find an audience that likes Limp Bizkit and sell to those guys. You can do this stuff on Facebook. Well, if you don't know how, you can learn how to do it. This is learning. You can do it, but you might have something else to do and not do that stuff, and then wonder why no one's coming to your shows. The cool thing for bands is there's heaps of things. Like, you have a global reach instantly, and you have a product that not only will be filmed in 360 VR, you can add multiple cameras to your 360 show and make an actual film clip of the event after. You can do that at the same time, because the reason you would do that is because you've got an amazing production set, lighting, everything is beautiful and perfect, and you can spend some time setting up your live event. Most live events, unless you're a touring act and you've spent months pre-rehearsals, production rehearsals and whatever, you're still not going to have the same effect as if you're setting up your own arena for a 45-minute power session just to kick the goals of music that you're trying to create. But you can spend some time leading up to that event on the day, just getting things right so it looks good, and you can set up cameras, video cameras, you can set up some photography, you can even have your own live crew there. And we thought about doing this or not doing this, and I think we might do it. Is the venue that we're going to be doing it in is a big space, and there's a bar. We're not going to be using the bar, but we might invite people down to be at the bar and watch it live there and then. So instead of being in the arena, they'll be at the bar watching it and listening to the live sound that's happening. So there's a few things that we can do just to add a little bit of value for the band. The band, the way we're setting this up as an organisation is there's going to be potentially an app in the future as well, which means you download the app, you get notifications of bands, and everything works through the app. At this point, it's simply YouTube. YouTube have far more disk space than I do, far more technology available to them, so we're going to use what they've got. And another cool thing is, if someone comes to a show and they've seen, if they come to the website where everything's going to be hosted, all the ticket sales, all the previous VR gigs and all the future gigs are all going to be listed on like to what's next and what's gone kind of menu boards, and you click on the board and view your event. So imagine if you're a band and you've had a little bit of exposure over the last few years, and you do one of these 360 gigs, and you do it after there's been about 10 or 20 360 gigs already. That's a pre-existing audience that knows how it works. They understand the concept. They've bought before. They've been to the venue. Then all of a sudden, you've got their attraction because you're playing in their space. They like it, and there's probably going to be some real loyal fans that just watch every show.
Yeah,
because it's just a cool thing to do. Like, people do this on Facebook just because it's just a habit now. So if we could make this a weekend, half-hour, 45-minute thing that people do. And another cool thing as well, because it's live, being live means that you can interact and you can comment, you can talk back to the band or the promoter or the producer or someone sitting there. You won't see me playing and typing back to you, although it's probably been done. I remember sending text messages from gigs before. So you can interact with the band, you can make requests if it's that kind of show. But once the event's happened and when it's finished, that event's going to be available forever. So if you're a band and you've done your thing, 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 months, 5 years from that point, someone else might buy a ticket. The only way they're able to see that live VR 360 event is by buying a ticket to have access to the room that you recorded in.
So it'd be like a subscription service as well.
That could be, or there's so many different options. It might be a weekly subscription that gives them, or a monthly, that gives them access to everybody, and then the premium guys, you pay a little bit extra, because there's some pretty big guns that are, because we've got a promoter involved in this too that's got some pretty big guns on side. So that might, a few little bands, Mind Remover, a couple of Adelaide acts, a couple of bigger Australian acts, then some international acts. And then the international acts are going to bring in a lot of people, but there's already a pre-existing list of people, perpetual database, that are going to be involved and already know how it works. So from a band perspective, you record the audio. Their audio is going to be a live recording, which can be uploaded. It's your stuff, it's your content. So it's about creating content.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'll tell you the reason we're doing this. So I can create content for the VR site, which is what you're watching now. And the content is coming because I can just have a conversation with someone that loves the local live scene as well.
Yeah, well, I was, the first time you mentioned it to me, I must admit, I was a bit, but that's because it's a new technology, and like anything, I remember when Facebook became mobile on our phones. What? And Twitter and all the different social media platforms, and nah, that's not going to work. No, I'm never going to get on board on that. But now, it's a massive part of what I do is the social media side of things, that technology. So it's just something different,
and it's just stacking the trends.
Exactly,
Good quality audio. It's virtual reality, which is happening. It's 360, which is happening. At a push of a button and a new headset, you can watch it in 360 VR 3D.
And it really didn't take long to set that up to watch either.
You were fucking around for hours by the looks of it. The 360 VR 3D is something completely, and I've played around with it a little bit. I've literally spent 48 hours straight playing with the new toys just to make sure we can do what I need them to do, and they're just amazing. A push of a button and a new headset, you can watch like 360 VR 3D, which is, man, if someone throws a pick at you and it's caught in the right, it actually feels like it's hitting you in the face.
I can imagine that.
And we could probably create these little sensors that just go 4D, and you have a can of your band. So it'll be a spray cologne of the smell of the band's rehearsal room. Spray that around in the room.
Glen 20.
Glen 20, yeah, that's the name of the band.
Yeah.
It's so many options, and it's just an opportunity that I thought, you know, to spend a bit of time, a lot of time, money, and just prior knowledge and just my love of the music and love of what I love to do. And
gadgets and technology.
Gadgets and technologies. I love technology and I love incorporating it into the love and the passion of music and live music.
Yeah, and enhancing other people's experience and making it work for them, and bringing people together, connecting people, and making people aware of bands, and the list goes on. Yeah.
So those two buckets are pretty important: the supply and the demand, the band and the consumer. So the punter. The other bucket's obviously a promoter. So the organisation's set up with 4 quadrants, I guess. So you've got ETI Music, which is me and all the things that I'm doing and learning and developing and putting the concept together. There's a productions company, which is they're currently travelling around Australia. They're travelling around Australia every freaking week, but they're currently travelling around Australia in 2 48-foot semis doing the Elvis Presley show. That's sort of they also do, that's massive theatre production, obviously stage shows and things like that. They do WOMAD, Big Day Out, massive corporate events. They travel with Coca-Cola. They're just doing everything. So these guys are part of this concept. So it's not just one of these things, it's all of these things combined. And you can't get no better than these guys. The promotions company has got some pretty big names on board. They're a local Adelaide organisation, yet they're global. And this gives them reach as well. The reason they're on board is because it gives their already listed clients reach to millions, literally, hundreds of millions, literally, because of Facebook. And anyone who likes music and likes VR or likes either or separately can. If you're into VR, you might just want to watch it because it's VR. If you're into music, you'll learn about VR. You know, if you're into VR, you'll learn about a band. So, and then the 4th quadrant is the band. So the band part will change every gig. There'll be a new band. There'll be new talent. There'll be new arrangements. The way it's set up. We're setting this up for 4 people because it's 4 in this band. It might be a 3-piece. It might be a 10-piece band. It's really important to know that it's not just one of those things. It's all those things working together really well, and years of experience in communicating and working with these other parts make it all work. So kind of the business just fell together really. The organisation has just happened. It's just something that I went and had a conversation with a guy, another conversation with another guy, and I, on behalf of the band, said we're going to do this. And you know, it's kind of fallen into a big space now, and it's going to work quite well with this pretty simple, end consumer product.
Pretty much everyone knows how to use a phone, follow instructions, click links.
Yeah. You don't need to be a know-it-all, you just need to know where to find it all.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it, yeah.
Write that shit down. Yeah. Mate, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's going to
we know we'll see you at the gig, and the good thing about having this is our Sound Adelaide on board as well. There's going to be some opportunities for not just our band, Mind Remover, to be on the show and do a bit of a plug of the event. There's going to be exclusivity to our recorded audio content through the radio as well. So there's a whole heap of extra value that we get by having someone like Clint involved, and it's awesome what you're doing and sharing the love of local music. And for those that support him, for those that he supports, they should be supporting him back.
Yeah, it's a two-way street.
Definitely.
There's lots of love and there's lots of mutual respect out there. So
yeah,
and it makes what I do rewarding. But what I'm really excited about is that this is actually going to make me become more creative and look for new ways to take things to the next level and think outside the square. So I'm actually looking forward to this being a challenge, and I like challenging myself, as you would too, because you're the person that said to me a while ago, under pressure diamonds are made. So it's actually a saying that I always try and think of before I do a show, is the pressure's on, you've got people listening,
pressure's on.
You've got interviews, you've got this, you've got that, you've got everything going on. But under pressure, if you do it well and think things through clearly, then the rewards are great.
I never think things through clearly.
I do. That's the way I work.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I just get too excited about getting shit happening, and then if I sit down to... I do map things out, but I think if I was to...
You need a structure. You need a good foundation
I need notes, not a script.
Yeah, exactly.
Even doing getting the 360 stuff. That's currently what you saw. Now that you've seen it, I'm going to take it off because it was just a test, and there's a few. I don't want it to be, oh wow, is this it? Like it's going to be way bigger than what you just saw, way better.
Yeah.
So that's going to come down now. But to get that little piece of content, which is 5 songs at our rehearsal, bit of editing, some logos, faders in and fade in and out of transitions and whatever. To get that from the camera to your eyes just then has taken hours of learning.
Oh, absolutely.
Like not me like 3-4 hours on a Sunday afternoon. It's taken me three to 4 full days to work it out, and now I've written down my process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the more you do it, the easier it's going to become.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a process, and I'm happy to know that I couldn't find any information on what to do in a straight format.
You have to work it out yourself.
I have to work it out myself because no one's doing this scenario. No one's got this product with that, and they want to do that, and they need to achieve that. There was nothing. I couldn't there's so much weird, diverse information on YouTube, as there usually is, but nothing was straightforward.
Yeah, and it'd be all other people's experience.
But it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I had to do a lot of soul searching to make it happen, and I made it happen.
But the
I
end
saw your reaction.
Yeah, the end result is very rewarding, I'm sure.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much, Pete Barter. It's been awesome.
Pleasure, mate. Thanks for the hang.
Yeah, and that was seriously impressive. We're going to go and watch some bands now.
Yeah.
And VR.
Let's go. Go watch a band. Get some brews on.
Yeah.
All right.